Tyler Toffoli, you are now a Winnipeg Jet, and I'm sure you'll sell some season tickets, I think.
I think.
Now, if you want to get some sleep after this crazy day of craziness.
Yeah, after being busy not sleeping on the Jets.
Don't forget it. That's right. Don't forget to try out Sleep Breakthrough. If you take Sleep Breakthrough regularly, you can quickly fall asleep. And here's the thing, you won't become dependent on it. And that's the key, right? It optimizes your body, gets you into that REM sleep as quickly as possible. And you don't have to worry so much about, sometimes you do the sleep thing and then there's the sleep hangover where you're like, I can't wake up.
Which, like...
The whole point is to wake up refreshed.
Yeah,
right?
You ever wake up and you fall asleep immediately?
Yeah.
You're like, what was even the point of that, body?
Exactly. So if you're struggling with sleep Breakthrough, you avoid all that stuff. It's truly a game changer. Visit biooptimizers.com/dangle and use that promo code DANGLE to save 10% off. Tyler Toffoli to the Jets, to the New Jersey Devils, a 2025 second-round pick and a 2024 third-round pick. For Tyler Toffoli and what he brings, that seems like a pretty good deal for the Jets.
Yes, absolutely. I think of a team with the scariest guns in the league. Like some of these guys that can just friggin' rip it. Mm-hmm. Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, Tyler Toffoli. Are they players with flaws? Sure. But you don't want the puck on any of their sticks. Any of it, because they don't need much time with it.
No,
it will burn you.
It seems like rightfully so. People are sleeping on the Jets a little bit because look at the absolute gargantuan, scary teams that they're playing. Like the Monstars play in the Western Conference, right?
Yes.
You've got Dallas, you've got Colorado, you've got Edmonton, you've got Vegas, who won the Cup last year. If any of those teams win, nobody bats an eye. Everybody's like, yeah, I thought so. I thought maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Winnipeg's had a great year.
They have. They really have. And it's almost like they got to remind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Canada, I think a lot of these teams that have kind of been doing well all season long have hit these little lulls, and it's almost like we've forgotten how good they've been basically all year. Vegas is one of them. Vancouver is one of them. And the Jets definitely fall into that category. And this is maybe besides the point for Winnipeg Jets fans, but it just feels like Tyler Toffoli is way too good of a player who's had way too good of a career to be this much of a suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's been everywhere.
What is that, 4 or 5 teams in the last 3-4 years?
Oh my God. The Jets, the Devils, the Canucks, the Flames,
yeah.
the Kings. He's been everywhere.
Now, Gabe Vilardi is out day to day right now. So Vlad Namestnikov is currently playing top line right wing minutes with Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. But Jesse, you look at that top 6, okay? Mm-hmm. You got Connor, Scheifele, and probably Vilardi. And then you got Ehlers, Monahan, Iafallo. Where do you put Toffoli? Because you assume he goes in the top 6. Is he pushing down a guy like Namestnikov or Mason Appleton, basically?
Yeah, he slots in somewhere in the top 6. He's too good of a player, I think, to play him on the third line, unless you go to the model where you're going to load up your entire core,
just waves,
the forward group, and just have waves after waves after waves. Like, there's options here for the Jets, and it really opens things up. One of the more interesting things I'm looking at with the deal is, you mentioned all the times Tyler Toffoli has been traded. I'm like, who got the best return? And what Montreal did when they traded him and the amount of picks and capital they got is very impressive. And Calgary for their nice return as well. Sharon Govich is great for them right now. And then for New Jersey, it's so disappointing how the summer went and we reached this point.
No question.
Fitzgerald signs the deal and it's like, okay, we got Toffoli and this is going to be great and we're going to have their season. We don't have to worry about moving him because we're going to re-sign him because we're going to be so good.
I think they're going to be impatient with the picks. I wouldn't be shocked at all if at the draft they flip them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see them.
They don't want to be rebuilding anymore.
Yeah, and what they need is something to build around the young guys. Like, I don't think it's about getting assets for the future anymore. That's why it makes sense to flip these picks. It's about getting some established NHL players to play with the Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Nemiches of the world, where you have these young guys and they just need veterans to support the team.
Now, I have a question for you guys. And I want to go hindsight is 2020 on this one, okay? Because Toffoli became a New Jersey Devil this summer when New Jersey said, okay, we'll give you Sharangovich, who'd had some good seasons before, was already a 20-goal scorer before that, is now 25 goals in Calgary, one of the only players in Calgary that can score. Would it have been better to keep a guy like age 25 Sharangovich over Toffoli for where the New Jersey Devils are at? Because you got Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes and all the other players on that team within that 20 to 25 range coming up together. Like, do you regret that trade if you're Tom?
No, I think this is what we were just talking about. You know, you that's where they were at that moment. Exactly what they needed was Tyler Toffoli. They didn't. Sharangovich wasn't the player they wanted, who was a pending UFA or RFA. I forget.
UFA.
They traded his signing.
Oh,
rights,
sorry, RFA.
Then,
excuse me,
RFA. Was
yeah.
it? I don't remember. And then he signed the deal in Calgary. But Toffoli was what they needed. Toffoli was supposed to be a missing piece for the core, where you put up a whole bunch of goals and just support all the young guys. And now that's gone to the shitter, you got to move him for assets so he doesn't walk for nothing.
Well, when you sign with the team, you're like, you look at the rest of the roster and you go, all right, who am I going to be playing with? And you look and you go, Nico Hischier? Okay. Jack Hughes? Okay. Well, both guys have battled injuries this season, and they've either been hurt and out of the lineup or playing hurt. And maybe one of the most devastating injuries to any roster in the league this season was Dougie Hamilton going down.
Yep.
They did struggle. They still looked like a team that was hanging around. Sorry, Lindy, and all that.
Timo Meyer's been on an absolute tear since Lindy was let go.
Well,
like 5 goals in 4 games.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, as opposed to just being complete hot garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Right?
like Dougie Hamilton going down destroyed their decor because Tom Fitzgerald decided to have 2 established players on their decor leave for nothing, and then they were just completely wrecked, and they can't run a power play without Hamilton, and they haven't been able to play good team defense without him. And I think it's a lot on this management group for the way they've built this team and the way Lindy Ruff coached it. He didn't know how to handle the roster, and it's just been a lot of errors and a lot of mistakes and a season of mistakes for the Devils.
Now, there were rumors that Toffoli really liked it in New Jersey. He could always sign back there this summer. If that's exactly what they needed last summer, you could make the argument that he might be exactly what they need this summer. My question to you is, if you're a general manager and you know that this guy is probably money in the bank for 30 goals over the next few years, the problem is Toffoli is supposed to have wants somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 years. He's 31 now. Is that something New Jersey seriously looks at this summer? I could see Winnipeg looking at that because they want guys that are going to stick around and play, right? Do you think New Jersey revisits this if that's the term?
I think you entertain 8 years for anybody as good as Tyler Toffoli, but you need him to be realistic about cap hit. Like, you're going to be 40 by the end of this thing, or damn near. Whatever you think your cap hit should be now at 31, when you're sort of, back end of prime, we ain't paying you that for 8 years. You sign a short deal, I could see him going to free agency, getting 7-ish in that neighborhood. You're not getting that for 8 years.
Right.
You got to be out of your mind. And not that I've even heard that he's asked for that, though.
I think if the deal was there, they would have signed it. I know they were trying to get some sort of deal done. It seemed like him and management were just too far apart. I think they got to go in a different direction. Just say, hey, this didn't work, and Tyler Toffoli can go get his final contract ever, and sign some sort of 7-8 year deal with somebody.
I still think, like, dude, Hischier, Hughes, Hamilton, Palat is one that I kept forgetting about.
Yep.
All the injuries in New Jersey. If I'm Toffoli, I consider going back for sure.
Yeah, you got to get.
He had the opportunity to stick around.
Yep.
They didn't want to give him 7 years.
Why not have your cake and eat it too? Like, maybe you get to go win a cup with the Jets, show off your ring to everyone. Hey, look what I found, and then sign your big deal anyway.
We'll see.
All right, we will see. Winnipeg. Oh, what?
Sorry, my favorite thing about this deal.
What is it?
Anything can happen in Jersey.
Stop.